What's up, guys? It's Supermen 5000 back for another action figure review, and today we are looking at the MAFEX Reign of the Superman Steel. I know what I'm doing with these MAFEX figures. It feels like I'm picking up every single one. I've had these on order for months. They just decided to drop Huntress, Nightwing, now this dude. Triple whammy. Do they think I'm made of money? So I don't know what I'm doing, but we got Steel, a character, again, we don't get a lot of figures from. We are actually getting a McFarlane soon, a guy you're not seeing as much, which is cool, and he's a cool character. He was Black Superman before it was cool. It's the back with the loadout of everything you're gonna get, but let's get him out of this package, and let's take a look at Steel. And here we are with Steel out of the packaging, looking sexy, looking chromed up, and we get a decent spread of accessories here. So for the head sculpts, the one on the figure is that stoic expression, and then we're getting a gritted teeth option as well as a open mouth screaming option. For the hands on the figure, you're getting some fists, you got some gripping hands, and then you got 3 different sets of hands. All 3 of these are varying degrees of openness, basically. You're also getting some orange rocket boot attachments to stick on the bottom of Steel, put him on a flight stand. And then you're getting his hammer, his signature weapon. It's actually made into 2 pieces. And then here's what we're left with, Steel. And right off the bat, this metallic finish, I love it. It's 2 different colors. For the most part, it's this bluish color, which does convey metal very well. A nice light blue tint to it. And then the boots, the gauntlets, the logo, the tights is all done with the silver metallic accent. So it looks really good, like at any angle, especially under these lights. It's hitting the lights in a certain way. Now, I love McFarlane, but when we get that figure of Steel, I know it's not going to look this good in terms of the finish. We'll see how the sculpt is, and it's going to be fun to have that guy too. But, I mean, if you're a real Steel head, this is what you want. You want that chrome, well, I'm saying chrome, that metallic finish. It looks great. Up at the head sculpt here, almost Silver Surfer looking, but then you do get these rivets, these steel plates, and it's just a really cool design. A guy in this full metal armor, and then we get to the Superman, the Steel logo, and I love these rivets going around that on the shoulder plates, and you can see these are very loose and floppy. We'll get into that in articulation. The cape here, you do get that Superman logo on the back, and I love the design of Superman capes, and Steel may have been one of the originals where the actual cape comes out of the Superman logo. I love that design. You see that in a lot of designs, and for good reason. You get a bit of asymmetry here. On one side, it's just kind of a gauntlet. On this other one, this almost looks like it's got some cannons on it. No attachments for this, but you can imagine that's going to be firing out some kind of rockets or something like that. He is from the 90s, so you got to have extra pouches on your belt. And then a detail I really appreciate when you go down here, you get this piping, this tubing going down his leg. And when you go to articulate it, it actually goes with it, which is a really cool, seamless effect. Now, I'd imagine this is some kind of fuel for his rocket boots, which are nice and thick, almost Iron Man Mark 1 looking. But where's this fuel coming from? I mean, it's just a tube going into his fucking tights. So, a little bit weird. Maybe there's some kind of fuel source in his ass. But anyway, it is cool. It still is a nice effect, and I do like how these boots look nice and chunky, and he is going to let the figure have a good base when he stands, or hopefully at least. So articulation, we're used to MAFEX at this point. We've looked at a couple. So the neck is a separate piece, the head is a separate piece, all on ball joints. So with that combo, decent flight pose you can get there. Not quite in the Adam Warlock, and then all sorts of rotation. Let's see, down is pretty decent. I'll mention that the cape has a wire going down here and a wire at the bottom. Pretty much everywhere you would want it. No scallops or anything like that you get on a Batman cape. And I do appreciate that it's not ridiculous, because MAFEX, as we'll see, has been known to give some ridiculous capes. But Steel, they're a bit more reserved. For the shoulder, going way up, all the way past 90, crushing that, and the shoulder pad moves with it, very loose. Bicep swivel, double elbow. Let's see on this gauntlet arm. It's going to probably be a little bit better when we get into that one. The wrist is on a ball joint, does everything you need it. For the torso, ball joint here, ball joint with that combo. All the way back, forward, not great. Oh, well, you got to move them around a bit. The abs shelf gets in the way, but you can go down a little bit. I'll take that. Belt is floaty, gets out of the way. The legs are going to split open. Kick back, not much. because he's blocked by those cakes of steel. Kick forward is much better. Double knee, look at that with that piping effect. No boot cut as a result. Not as much range on these feet, but they are big and chunky. Nice ankle rocker, and then a toe hinge. And when we get into comparison, you'll see this is pretty fun. Steel, about a head taller than the usual MAFEX lot. Here he is with Too Much Cape Batman and the Nightwing we just looked at. And yeah, I really appreciate this. I guess it makes sense. Steel is a really tall motherfucker in a metal suit, but I didn't think of how the scale would look until I got him in hand. So really cool on that. And then here he is with my MAFEX Supermans. We got Frank Miller, Dark Knight style, and we got Cyborg Superman, who goes right along with the reign of the Superman story. I guess I'm going to have to get that black suit version, and you'd have to imagine the Eradicator and Superboy are on the way. And like, man, MAFEX just killing the wallet. But like Superman is especially, you know, we always get Batman figures, but to have this lineup of excellent Superman figures is really cool. And I don't even have the Hush version and the other ones I previously mentioned. And I keep forgetting I own this guy from my other MAFEX videos. He's on the stand, but here he is with the Henry Cavill black suit version. And this looks pretty good together. It doesn't make sense, but it's cool. And that is going to do it for Steel from MAFEX. And it's a great 90s character. And I think similar to the Huntress, it's one we don't get a lot. It's convenient we are getting the McFarlane version soon, but historically speaking, Steel is underrepresented as an action figure, and this is probably the best one ever made. I mean, it's not really much of a competition. Right now, we're just looking at a couple of Mattels really in the running, and I'm sure there's like a DC Direct, but the metallic finish on this, everything about it is great, and the articulation works where it should. I love this effect on the pipes on the legs. And I haven't even messed around with poses or accessories like that. I'm going to do that for the figure photography. You'll see that at the end of this video. If you want to see my whole backlog of figure photography, you can check out my Instagram, scoopman_5000. You can check out my second channel, just dropped in Across the Spider-Verse review. And we're going to definitely talk about The Flash once that's out. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next action figure review.